All men are created equal. All men. You are not a man, but they've made you their hero, and they worship you. You've been referred to by some as the world's greatest Boy Scout, fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. As if that were some inseparable holy trinity. But when I see you, I see something no man can ever be. I see the end. The end of our potential, the end of our achievements, the end of our dreams. You are my nightmare. But even staring at you, those red eyes, I am not afraid. So tell me, what redemption do you offer them?
Lex, I've got today's satellite imaging downloaded and ready. Where's your remote?
Who knows, Mona? Around.
You know, you want LexCorp to make more money than God. You invent a remote with a pager like a cordless phone has.
What have you got for me?
Nothing out of the ordinary. He comes out of nowhere, yet seems to be everywhere in Metropolis at once. Even with the digital rewrite improvements made on the lenses, we still don't see much more than a blur. He's been here since I was a little girl. And it's still really hard to believe. Not just that a man can fly, but that he can fly that fast.
He's not a man. And you were a little girl once.
Upon a time...
Did you want to marry him?
Excuse me?
Did you want to marry him? A childhood fantasy, like Prince Charming.
I suppose so. Every little girl does. And every little boy wants to be him.
Yeah, that's what makes him so dangerous.
Dangerous? I don't think so.
I do.
I know. But let me tell you about dangerous and fantasy. Nothing heats a woman up more than the fire in a bad boy's eyes. It's an oven curing her heart, turning it from soft clay into fragile porcelain, so it can be broken. And that's the danger.
And he'll never break your heart.
He can't. He's super, not a man.
No, he isn't. And you, by the way, you certainly are dressed to catch one.
Sweet of you to notice, but it's just a little décolletage for stuffed shirts and sensible shoes. The Vonk Ranch Academy benefit ball is tonight.
That's that exclusive school, isn't it?
Well, if you mean by exclusivity, it handpicks only 12 students for acceptance each year. Then yes, it's exclusive.
Right. Have a good time, Mona. Give everyone my best. Not a man. Not even close. Yet most accept him like a member of the family. Grown-up little girls and boys, certain that the uncertain will bully them, find comfort in their big brother from another planet. He's made himself appear so much like us, he has almost everyone forgetting he's not one of us. Almost. Tell me something.
Your intelligence was spot on the pony. We were able to intercept them before they got the doctor out of Chechnya.
I hired you.
And I wasn't about to do this alone. They're locals. Don't worry. It won't cost you anything.
And the doctor?
He's fine.
I'd like him to tell me that.
Doctor? Yes?
Sasha, it's Lex Luthor.
Lex? Are you behind this?
You can thank me later.
There will be a later, thanks to you.
Sasha, I know you said you preferred to retire and farm, but do you believe that's an option anymore? Your name is out there, and dangerous men are after what's in your head.
It seems they are more than willing to break it open if need be.
Are you all right?
I'm afraid.
Don't be. Mr. Orr is like you, very good at his job. He's going to take you to your home.
I can't stay there now.
Then tell him where you want to go.
Will I be safe in Metropolis?
Yes, and so will your family. You have my word, Sasha.
Okay. Lex?
Yes?
I would like, for a change, for my research to be used for the betterment of mankind.
You have my word on that as well.
Doctor, we'll be out of here in a couple ticks. First, I've got to take care of our friends. Friends? The men that helped me free you. Recognize any of them? Couple are former KGB. They know you. Now they're gangsters. Bad men. Sure. But good guys.
A life, some would argue, is a series of problems. There's no denying the truth in that. But why get lost in it? Why not rise above the truth and lead a good life? Shouldn't we all look at problems as a chance for us to find solutions?
We're on schedule but over budget.
Good news, bad news. What can we do about the latter?
That's a tricky one. The unions have us by the stones as far as contracts go.
How far is that?
I don't follow you.
The union contracts we've signed, they're only for construction, no?
We're still negotiating the service end for once the spire opens.
So they only go as far as opening day. What if we were to open the Science Spire as a not-for-profit institution?
You mean cut the unions out once we're up and running? That would take some doing. We'd have to get government approval and take our current business plan off the table.
Done.
Hold on a second. Lex, you're talking about millions of dollars here.
Exactly. Let our union rep know. Have a profitable day, gentlemen.
You're taking on a real hardballer here, Lex.
Am I, Mona?
Tony Amante doesn't play games. He came up through the union the old-fashioned way, which means he won't back down or renegotiate the contract.
Amante will do what's best for the unions. That's his job.
Okay, but what you're asking for isn't best for the unions or LexCorp.
What I'm expecting is that he does his job. In the long run, that'll be best for everyone. Good morning, Sasha.
Lex, how are you today?
Busy.
Is that good or bad?
It's an excuse. How's your patient?
Mine? No. Ours is incredible.
Stunningly so. Can I speak with her?
Certainly. Just give me 1 second. Go ahead.
It's Lex.
Lex, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about you. What are you thinking about?
What are you thinking about me?
How important you are.
Am I?
Very much so. Every time I see you, I'm overwhelmed.
You should see me more often then.
I'm busy. How is Dr. Fedorov treating you?
He's making me better.
I promised you he would. How do you feel?
How do you think?
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
So someone's got a crush here?
What do you mean, Mona? Sasha?
I've done what I can. The rest is in...
Don't say God's hands.
I'm not that kind of dreamer. I was going to say yours. You call her my patient. I'm not the kind of doctor with patience, Lex.
And I'm not the kind of man known for his, Sasha. She asks so many questions.
She responds with them. That's good. But it's not enough. Something's missing. Synapses. What's inside? You wish for a past, but there's none for her outside this bubble. What you want requires... more.
Then I'll get it for you.
I thought you had everything.
You imagined I did, Sasha. And image is never everything. Solutions are not easy to come by. They don't present themselves neatly wrapped in colorful paper. Like anything of value, they have to be dug for, sometimes in the hardest ground to break, one's own human clay. More often than not, mining one's self leads to fool's gold, unless the pick is taken to one's pride. One must break off a chunk and swallow it. The bitter pill for a better tomorrow. I'll be getting in late. You don't have to meet me. You don't have to, but dinner sounds nice. And it's just dinner, right? I mean, you have a reputation. No surprises, okay? Great. I'll see you then.
We got a no-go with Amante.
Let me know what that means.
No to second shifts without overtime. No to any new hires working those shifts. And yes to a work stoppage if we go not-for-profit.
So, he doesn't want to play fair.
He doesn't have to. He has a contract.
So do I. And not just with him.
This can't wait.
It can, but why let it?
You're leaving Metropolis with a lot of important things up in the air right now.
Well, I'm about to join them, and I have a feeling by the time I touch down tomorrow night, they'll all be with me.
Since when do you have feelings?
I've got feelings, Mona. I just keep them hidden is all.
Right, next to all the aces up your sleeve.
Better under the sleeve than on it. I've made it my business to see this city from every possible angle. So I know it like the back of my hand. And it's ironic that Metropolis never looks more magnificent to me than when I see it from his angle. But does he see what I see? Does he see the finest example of what humanity can accomplish, reaching for the sky? Does he see a city that lives up to its past while defining its future? Does he see the greatest city on the planet? Or does he merely look down on it?
Welcome to Gotham City.
Always good to see you, Bruce.
I must say, I did enjoy our afternoon together, Mr. Luthor.
As did I, Alfred. You've been a very gracious tour guide.
Yes, well, I apologize for Master Bruce's...
Thank you, but don't. He is who he is, and he's lucky to have you. How long's your contract anyway?
I'm flattered, Mr. Luthor, but...
You're more loyal than flattered. I respect that. And Alfred, respect is something that's earned. Born to greatness is a lie, and fate was invented by cowards. But destiny is something we hold in our hands.
Lex, how are you this morning? Am I late? I'm sorry I had to cut dinner short last night. Gregory, what's cooking? This is Lex Luthor. Lex, Gregory is one of the top chefs in Gotham. Do you mind, Lex?
It's your town.
It is, isn't it? Greg, bring us a couple strips, about 1.25 pounds each, medium rare. On the rare side, a wet, ripe beefsteak tomato salad with very thinly sliced red onion. Dress it with extra virgin, like there is such a thing, and Malden salt. Would you like a potato, Lex, or have you...
No, I've bought into that.
On the side, a bit of Maytag blue cheese, and we're drinking red, right?
Sparkling water.
You heard the man. Gregory, bring me just a glass of Cabernet 91 Montebello. No wine, Lex?
I've got some things to talk about, Bruce.
Exactly. And that's so much easier to do when wine's invited to the table. Gregory, the bottle, and 2 glasses.
I want to like Bruce Wayne. And it's not just because he may go out of his way to try to make certain that I don't, or that he relishes a part of life I'm uncomfortable with. He conveys animal magnetism. Maybe I'm jealous of that. Or maybe, like so many, I'm drawn to it. I don't know. I'm not even sure it's real, or part of his millionaire playboy facade. But one thing's clear about Bruce. Beyond the mask he wears is his passion. A palpable thing that's almost greater than the man himself. And if there's passion, there's desire. And desire means there's a hole in the man. I wonder not just what that hole is, but how deep it is. And if I have the means to fill it.
So, Lex, what's on your mind?
We have a project at LexCorp that, frankly, we need Wayne Industries' help with.
Joint venture?
Proprietary technology. Nothing commercial.
That sounds like a no-go, Lex, but go on.
I heard Thomas Labs has made a fairly shattering breakthrough on the Alzheimer's front. I think it could be beneficial on another.
It doesn't grow hair, if that's what you're thinking. Let's just say I were to say yes. What's it worth to you? And more important, what's it for?
It's worth the world, because that's what it's for.
Could you make things a bit more opaque for me?
I'm being very clear here.
Oh, my mistake. I thought we were talking business, not tilting at windmills.
The dragon is real, Bruce. I've stood next to it. Hell, I've stood up to it. Can you say the same?
I've never met him.
You don't meet it. It meets you. Head on, and it buckles your knees like a force of nature. But it isn't natural.
It has a name, Lex.
That we gave him, in attempt to humanize him, as pointless as naming a hurricane. Forget the name, Bruce, and think about what he can do. Think about a hurricane with a will. Then multiply that intensity 1,000-fold.
That's some storm. Good thing he's on our side.
What if he changes his mind? What if, tonight, he looks down at us and decides we're not capable to manifest our own destiny? What if tomorrow he wakes up believing he knows what's best for us? That it's not enough to protect the world, when he can rule it? The only safeguard we have against that happening is his word. And if I say his word is not enough, even if you believe it, does it make sense to accept it?
What choice do we have?
That's the wrong question. What you should be asking is what we can choose to do about it.
What's this, Lex? You're not about to pop.
It's kryptonite.
You're offering me this in exchange?
I'm giving it to you with no strings. Even if you decide not to share Thomas Lab's research, you should have it. The perfect gift for the man who has everything except a care in the world.
I can afford not to.
No, you can't. None of us can.
You'll never bring him down, Lex.
I'm not interested in bringing him down, but obsessed with bringing us up. All of us, everyone, deserves a chance at greatness. All that takes is the belief that it exists. But his existence threatens not just that belief, but our existence. I believe there's something inherently dangerous when something real becomes mythic. I believe when that happens, we lose that part of ourselves that yearns to be great. Because when faced with a myth, we can't win. So, the mythic must be exposed for what it is, so we can believe in ourselves. Because it's only what's in us, the drive to be mythic, that matters. Hello?
Lex, Bruce Wayne here. You can have what you want.
Winslow Snot?
It's shot.
What is?
My last name.
More like your whole friggin' life, you ask me.
I didn't. So, Mr. Orr, is it? Anyone ever tell you that you look like a porn star?
Not while I had my clothes on, no. And aren't you a tad old for what floats your little toy boat?
I couldn't help myself. That's in the past, though. I'm seeing a counselor and taking medication now.
Come on, Winslow. We both know it's not true.
What's this?
The job I promised.
I didn't promise I'd do it.
No, but you just couldn't help yourself coming to see what it is.
Interesting. This all checks out.
Every sparkling bit of it.
I'd need some upfront cash.
You got it.
What's my share?
A generous 35.
Make it a more generous 40.
No.
Give me a couple of days.
I'll see you. After the job. The when and where is in the file. Have fun, man toy.
It's Toyman.
Bullshot it is.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, Lex Luthor.
Before I thank you for coming, I'd like to apologize for the unorthodox venue. I heard through the grapevine that some of you may be afraid of heights. But believe me, there's nothing to fear up here in the clouds, for it's where your and my own future lies. Humankind is a species that, faults and all, defiantly reaches higher. Some of you may think that's because it's a ladder we're climbing. Others believe it's to return from where we came. But whatever doctrine you individually subscribe to, the quest for the clouds is one we all must share. All of us, every man, woman, and child, we must strive to make today better than yesterday, and tomorrow better than all of us. That's why I built this science spire. I consider it a record of what we as people have accomplished, and of what's yet to come. Every floor is dedicated to our greatest achievements, from picking up a bone to who knows, because we are not done. And this building won't be either. The top floors will be left as you see them now, waiting for you to finish them. I need someone from among you to raise the spire, which is only a foundation. I believe in my heart that you will. I believe in humanity, and I believe that I am exactly like you. I believe that we must control our own destiny. I believe in a higher power. I believe we need a boost from each other to reach the clouds. I believe that's why I was put on this earth. And I believe that LexCorp gives you hope.
Hello, Winslow. Can we play a game?
Why, of course, Dolly. Just let me make a few more adjustments.
Thought this could make your job easier. Plastic narcotics I picked up during a vacation to Russia. Once ignited, goes airborne. Good night, nurse. Or, P.S. I know a couple of orphanages in the Philippines. No questions asked if you got the cash.
It's been nearly a month since her debut, but in that short span, she's captured not just the imagination, but the heart of Metropolis. Cynics like Clark Kent have pointed out that this may be due to what he phrased as the selling of a hero, but that's like dismissing a silver lining in favor of the gray cloud. Maybe I should buy the Daily Planet and fire him. Certainly there are others in my position that control the media. Insecure men, ignorantly seeking to tell people what to think. But what we think, I've learned, is secondary to what we feel. We are not machines. We are human beings.
Maybe if you turn the heat down?
Really? Mona, do you think it's hot in here? Seems chilly to me.
Lex, there's a fire. I should go. I'll put it out and come back.
Just come back.
Lex, can I talk freely?
I sign your checks, Mona.
Do you want to know what I think about this?
No. Here's what you think. My boss is getting dangerously close to making a mistake that could ruin him. He's been touched by an ideal when all I want is for him to touch me. Despite the way I dress, he won't notice me. He only has eyes for his ideal. How can I change that? How can I make myself ideal?
You're a bastard.
No, Mona, I'm an idealist. It spins the world. A long day becomes night, and night becomes longing. And then a lifetime alone. It saddens me what I'm forced to be. And yet, I can't be anything else. That realization, suffocating, I owe to the spinning world. The air feels promising this morning. It's been a bit cool in Metropolis in the past few weeks, but the warm breeze blowing in from the west seems to be a wind of change. Despite my standing, I feel the need to walk this city every day to keep my feet connected to its ground. I owe it that much like the others that walk it owe it to me. Mona, tell me something.
Just listen.
What you're seeing now is exclusive footage of the explosion that rocked Metropolis just seconds ago. Unconfirmed reports say the blast occurred at Isaacson and Stein Jewelers, a gem importer in the Walker Park neighborhood. And there's Metropolis's hope diving into the devastation. And hope is something we need if reports are true that the jeweler shared the building with the children's daycare center. This dramatic footage can only be described as hell.
Like you've been there. Give me another.
Despite the best efforts of our heroes, 26 adults and 68 children lost their lives.
Amen. Injuries? They don't make the news.
Police and the FBI have released this security videotape, which may, and I am forced to repeat, may, show the man responsible for the crime that has shaken Metropolis to its foundation. His name is Winslow Schott, a high-profile thief and registered pedophile, better known as the Toyman. At this reporting, His whereabouts are unknown.
Those poor parents.
Excuse me?
The mothers and the fathers. The ones who lost their children. I can only imagine how they feel.
And how's that? Hopeless? You imagine you can imagine, but honey, you can't.
You're right. I'm being presumptuous.
No. You imagine you are.
Sasha Fedorov and his wife were dropping their children at daycare this morning when the explosion occurred. The entire family is dead. Mona, please make the arrangements. Now.
I have to find the Toyman.
Yes, you will. But that has to wait. What Mona was saying, how does that make you feel?
Like, because of my abilities, I'm less than a woman.
Hope, you are not a woman. You are something more. I love you.
I love you too.
Those words, Hope, mean the world to me.
This just in. An anonymous tip concerning the whereabouts of the man responsible for the explosion that rocked Metropolis has turned fatal for some who have sworn to protect it. This is live footage from a South Side neighborhood where it is believed that police attempted to arrest Winslow Schott, the Toyman, in connection with today's bombing of a downtown daycare center. According to reports from the EMS crews at the site, none of the officers survived.
Lex.
Go. Every eye in Metropolis wants to see you bring this monster to justice. All I ask is to see you later. Meet me atop the Science Spire. I feel her smile in my core. Her responsibility belongs to this city. But her heart, it's one of those moments in life that I pray will be unforgettable. Come in.
I had the Fedorovs' bodies released from the morgue and transferred. Oh,
Hand me my robe, would you please, Mona?
something wrong?
I gave Sasha Fedorov my word that his family would be safe in Metropolis. Is there anything else?
Just, my letter of resignation.
See you in the morning, Mona.
Good night, Mr. Luthor.
Mr. Orr,
What do you want?
to thank you.
Go to hell.
I have other plans.
From day one, you played me, Luthor.
I paid you, Orr. If the cost of the job was higher than you anticipated, perhaps we can work something out. Why don't you come by the tower? I'll send a car.
Don't bother.
It's already on the way.
Damn it.
Like a house of cards. What's real can't be argued with. There are chemical reasons that happen on a molecular level that make grass appear to be green. Unless one is colorblind. Taking that into consideration, isn't perception more real than reality itself? I can't change the color of grass, but I can change the way it's perceived. I believe I can. With your help.
No, no, no. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was just a robbery. I love children.
What would you like me to do, Winslow?
Dolly, 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 Dolly. There are bad men outside. I need you to be brave.
I'll go outside then.
General Winslow,
Yes, Captain Spaulding.
my men on the roof report incoming from 2 directions.
2? Thank you, Spaulding. Tell your men, red and blue. They'll know what to do.
I know what you'll do, because you've made it clear what you won't. As hard as it is to believe, your arrogance may actually be greater than your abilities. You profess a love of humanity, but that is an emotion you can't possibly know, because those same abilities make it impossible for you to know its opposite. It's something that today has its grip on every heart in Metropolis. Fear. Right now, every citizen in Metropolis is glued to their television, wanting desperately for someone of strength to make that fear go away. And like an avenging angel, she swoops down. Winslow, on his best day, was nothing but a petty criminal and a failed human being. I made him a monster. The city fears him, and it watches, hoping for one thing: justice. A justice that at the last moment is snatched from them. Hope. My hope. She doesn't understand. She thinks it's her body that betrays her. If only my tears didn't brand me as her Judas. But like his action, mine is preordained as well. If only by me. I created hope, with the aid of a man who feared for his family, and a boy in love with himself. I created a machine that imagined it was human. I gave a dream a form I could touch. And I've delivered her to an altar for an alien to sacrifice. An alien that holds life sacred above all else. An alien that sees no life in hope. Even through the dust, I see your eyes. I know of all your remarkable visions. But let me tell you what you can't see. My soul. And there's not a soul in Metropolis who watched Hope drop the monster, and given the same opportunity wouldn't have done it themselves. Not a soul. How does that make you feel, you arrogant alien bastard? Your silence speaks volumes. You understand my words, but you refuse to believe what they mean. Is that because you see something in humanity that in truth isn't there, or that you're blind to what truly is? Say something, goddammit! You can't. Because if you could, you would see a man who willingly denied himself happiness. No, who chose to give up hope for the world. A world without a Superman. I know I can't beat you alone. But then, I'm not alone. There are 6.5 billion of me, and only one of you. And we can drive you back out to the blackness from which you came. What the world watched you do tonight, if it only changes one mind about what you are, please just fly away. What gives measure to a man's choices is what he has to give up to make them. I am a man. I hope.